I welcome all our dear friends from press and electronic media for this press conference on performance of Southeast Monsoon 2021 and outlook for post-monsoon season, October to December. I will give a brief presentation about the various salient features and the forecast performance during this monsoon season, and also our probabilistic forecast outlook for October and October to December. I will just share the screen. The Southeast monsoon season is defined for the period 1 June to 30 September. And during this June to September 2021, the Southeast monsoon seasonal rainfall for the country as a whole has been normal. When we say the normal monsoon rainfall, it is 94% to 106% of it is 96% to 104%. Please excuse me, there is a minor mistake in the line. It is 96% to 104%, which is called as the normal rainfall activity. During 2021, if we just look at the total amount of rainfall which has been realized during 1 June to 30 September, has been about 99% of its long period average. The Southeast monsoon seasonal rainfall for the 4 homogeneous regions, if you consider, you will find that it has been normal over Northwest India, that is 96%, Central India 104%, and below normal over East and Northeast India 88%, and above normal over South Peninsular India, that is 111%. Now, if I look at month-wise rainfall distribution, the season has been uniquely placed in the historical record of its distinct and contrasting characteristics, especially the rainfall variation from month to month. The rainfall for the country as a whole during June has been 110%. During July, it was 93%. During August, it was 76%. And during September, it has been 135%. So therefore, while the first and last month was quite good, 110% and 135%, August was a highly deficient month with realized rainfall at 76%. But considering season as a whole, on the right side diagram, you can find that you have 10 meteorological subdivisions which are excess, 20 meteorological subdivisions which are normal, and 6 meteorological subdivisions which are deficient. The deficient subdivisions, if you look at, that is mainly the northeastern states, namely Arunachal Pradesh, Assam and Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura, then Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh region, then West Uttar Pradesh, and Lakshadweep. The excess rainfall, if you just look at, it has been mainly the northern part of the peninsula, covering coastal Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Marathwada, North Central Karnataka, and Konkan. Similarly, the Saurashtrian Kutch and West Rajasthan, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, and Gangetic West Bengal. If I just look at year-wise variation from 1901 to 2021, you can find that the rainfall has been continuously the normal for last 3 years, that is 19, 20, and 2021. While of course, last 2 years has been on the positive side, you can say the above normal rainfall activity. This year has been in the normal category of the rainfall. If I just look at the comparison of the different broad homogeneous regions like Northwest India, Northeast India, Central India, South Peninsula. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Thank you. I don't know why it got disconnected. Okay. So what we find actually that the rainfall has been almost uniformly distributed in the month of June and the season as a whole. But if you just look at in the month of August, especially, what you find actually most of the homogeneous regions have been on the deficient side, except the Northeast India, which was the normal conditions. In the month of September, if you just look at similarly, the Central India has got excessively high rainfall activity, almost 83% excess, and while the Northeast India has been 30% deficient in the month of September. So if I just conclude the spatial and temporal variation of rainfall activity during the monsoon season, what I find that August and September was quite contrasting to each other. While August was highly deficient, September has been highly excess. Now coming to the onset of monsoon, yes, it was a normal onset, and it also covered the entire country by about 13 July against normal data of about 8 July. On the right-hand side diagram, you can find out how the daily rainfall activity varied during the season itself. As we have discussed in earlier monthly press conference, there was quite a good beginning from the month of June. It continued. Then from around the 20th June, there was some kind of deficient phase, and that continued for about 10 July. Then from 10 July, the rainfall activity picked up and went on well, and it ushered in the good news for farmers and various hydrological operations. But again, from about 3rd August, there was a lull and there was a deficiency, and that was continuing for quite a long time, except a break in between towards 18 August or so because of the formation of a low pressure system. So therefore, August became highly deficient. And thereafter, in the month of September, if we just look at rainfall has been quite good, and it has been most of days above normal rainfall. Now, if I just look at the monsoon core zone, that is almost the central part of the country, which is dependent upon the rainfall activity mostly, and hence the rainfall area. But we find actually in this monsoon core zone also, in the month of September, there has been quite good rainfall activity. It has in most of the days, it has been the above normal, or at least on the positive side of the normal. Otherwise, in the month of August, it has been on the negative side of the normal on many days during the month of August. So, however, monsoon core zone, say the season as a whole, ended up as 107% of the long period average. Now, this is the tabular form of the rainfall distribution for different broad homogeneous regions and the country as a whole for different months like June, July, August, and September, and season as a whole. I will not discuss about June, July, and August, but in the month of September, if you just look at the rainfall has been about 30, it is up to 29 September, but today it has become 35%. Actually, yesterday it was 34%, today it has become 35%. So what we find actually in the month of September, Northwest India also got excess rainfall, and Central India got excess rainfall. South Peninsula got excess rainfall. East and Northeast India only got the deficient rainfall. Now, if you look at month-wise spatial distribution of rainfall in the month of June, July, August, and September. So what you find actually, June and September are quite analogous to each other. Most of the subdivisions are normal or excess. But in the month of July and August, there were subdivisions. Mainly in the month of August, all or most of the central and northwest India subdivisions were deficient. And even the Gujarat state was highly deficient, which has become highly excess in the month of September. Now, this is the heavy rainfall events during monsoon season. On the left-hand side is the location of the heavy rainfall events. That means a rainfall of 7 centimeter and above. And that you can find that these heavy rainfall events in the month of June, that is a green color, July is the blue color, August is red color, and September is the yellow or orange color. So what you find actually, the frequency of heavy rainfall events has been quite high in the month of September and also followed by July. June becoming the onset month, usually we get less number of frequent heavy rainfall activities. But September has been a month with quite a good number of heavy rainfall activities. But in the month of August, if you just find out the northern plains adjacent to the foothills of the Himalayas and northwest India and adjoining East Rajasthan got quite a good number of heavy rainfall events, and which resulted in flood activity. On the right-hand side, it is the extremely heavy rainfall distributions, that is rainfall exceeding 20 centimeters. So what you find actually, there are distinct areas where the extremely heavy rainfall has occurred, and that also caused the floods. As we know that you can find floods and landslides, etc. You can find out that the most important zone where it occurred was the Konkan and the adjoining Madhya Maharashtra, and also the northern parts of Karnataka coast. The next zone was northwest MP and adjoining East Rajasthan because of the persistence of the two low pressure systems over that area. And the third zone was over Odisha, which caused the floods mainly in the month of September because of the passage of the deep depression. And the fourth, what you find actually in the recent time, actually it has occurred in the month of September over the coastal area of West Bengal. We also had isolated activity over Assam and Meghalaya, Southern and West Bengal, Sikkim, East UP, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu, and Uttarakhand, and Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi. But that was not so significant, except some parts of East and Bihar, which caused the heavy rainfall leading to the floods. Now, if I just look at the low pressure systems, we usually define the low pressure systems as the low depression cyclones. Then cyclone becomes the cyclone storm, severe cyclone storm, very severe cyclone storms, extreme severe cyclone storms, super cyclone storms. And prior to formation of low, there will be a cyclonic circulation. That is the lowest stage. From a cyclonic circulation, a low forms, and from a low, a depression forms, and from a depression, a deep depression. Then from deep depression, a cyclone forms. So if you just look at in this map, what you find actually, the central India, starting from Odisha, West Bengal, up to Gujarat and East Rajasthan, there has been quite a good activity of the low pressure systems. If we look at the number on the right hand side, what you find actually, there has been about 7 low pressure systems, 4 well marked low pressures, 1 deep depression, and 1 cyclonic storm. So by that way, we have about 13 low pressure systems during this monsoon season, and normal is 13. If you just look at normal number of low pressure systems, it is 13. So therefore, this normal occurrence of low pressure systems helped in good rainfall activity during this monsoon season. However, these low pressure systems were not uniformly distributed in the monsoon season. The frequency was quite high in the month of September. In the month of September itself, we got about 5 low pressure systems, including 1 cyclone and 1 deep depressions. So that was the reason why September became very active and led to excess rainfall of 35%. So when a low pressure system develops over the Bay of Bengal, it moves towards west-northwest, as it has happened during this year. Usually, the left forward sector, that means the southwest sector, if you consider a circle around the center of the low pressure systems, the southwest sector gets good rainfall activity. Therefore, if you just remember the heavy rainfall zone and this passage of low pressure systems, you will find that they are almost analogous to each other. In addition to that, whenever there is development of a low pressure system over the Bay of Bengal, the westerly winds along the west coast increases, and hence the frequency of heavy rainfall events also increases. So therefore, that was the reason why we got that type of distribution of heavy rainfall events in the system. Now, if you just simply look at the two depressions and cyclones which developed this year, you can find the track of these two systems. One crossed near Chandbali and another crossed just to north of Kalingapatnam. These two systems caused quite a good amount of rainfall during this September. Now, these are the significant weather events in different parts of the country and which led to disastrous type situations. Mainly whenever there is a monsoon season, you will get heavy rainfall, lightning, thunderstorms, etc. And this is the case for June, July, and August. September will be made available after some time. Now, if I just verify the long range forecast what we issued for all India, it was issued on 16th of April, the first stage of forecast. It was told that the rainfall will be 96 to 104. Rainfall will be normal, that is 96 to 104%. And quantitatively, it was told that it will be 98% plus minus 5%. The second stage, which was issued on 1st June, it was told that again normal rainfall will be there, that is 96 to 104%, and quantitatively it will be 101% plus minus 4%, and finally rainfall became 99%. For Northwest India, rainfall forecast was normal, and it was indicated as 92 to 108% of the long period average, and it became 96%. For Central India, it was told that it will be above normal, that is more than 106%, and it was found to be 104%. Northeast India, it was told that it will be below normal, that is less than 95%, it became 88%. For South Peninsula, it was told that it will be 93 to 107%, and it ended with 111%. Monsoon core zone, it was predicted that it will be above normal, that is more than 106%, and it ended up with 107%. For all India rainfall forecast for the month of July, it was told that it will be normal, 94 to 106%, it became 93%. For August and August to September forecast was issued on 1st August. And for August rainfall forecast was 94 to 106%, that is normal, but it became 76%. And August plus September, it was predicted that it will be 95 to 105%, and it ended up as 99%. For September, it was told that it will be above normal, that is more than 110%, and it was found to be 135%. So if I summarize all these things, I found that more or less forecast became all right for most of the cases, except for the August rainfall, which was predicted as normal, but it ended up with a deficient one. Now, if I just compare the September forecast that we issued on beginning of the September, on the left-hand side is the observed rainfall for the September. On the right-hand side, it is the probability of rainfall forecast, which was issued for the month of September. So what I find actually, if I compare, it was predicted that west coast and central India, starting from Odisha up to say East Rajasthan and Gujarat, it will have normal to excess rainfall activity. So most of the cases it has been realized, and similarly northeastern states and Bihar, etc., is expected to be deficient. So what I find that the spatial distribution is almost identical with each other, except a few areas like West Rajasthan. West Rajasthan was predicted to be on probability of below normal rainfall, but it has become excess rainfall activity. There are certain isolated pockets like that also where rainfall has been against the predicted. Otherwise, more or less, if you just look at the spatial distribution of rainfall for September, as we picked up by this model and sample. Now, if I compare the spatial distribution of forecast predicted on past June for the season as a whole, that is on right hand side, and left hand side is the actual rainfall activity. So what I find actually, it has been almost the uniform distribution as it was being predicted, and deficient rainfall for northeastern states and Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. And but rainfall forecast for Gujarat state and adjoining areas, it was expected to be on, you can say, on the normal to excess type, but it has ended up with normal to deficient type. But finally, it is a good news that in the month of September, Gujarat could get very good rainfall activity, like Odisha, which is continuing to be deficient till the end of August. Now, if I just look at the factors responsible for August rainfall deficiency, I have just discussed in the last month. I will discuss here again because I want to compare August and September, which has become quite contrasting for this monsoon season. In the month of August, it was the negative Indian Ocean dipole, which was unfavorable for Indian monsoon. There was almost absence of the formation of any monsoon depression. Only two, normally two monsoon depressions form and two low pressure systems. And there was hardly any active low pressure system which affected rainfall over India during this month. Two low pressure system forms with very limited periods, 16 to 18 and 20 to 30 August. Then number of low pressure system days was quite less. Then unfavorable Madden-Julian oscillation, that was very important also. This Madden-Julian oscillation is an east-west oscillation which propagates from west to east across the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. When they become active over Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, or South China Sea, monsoon becomes quite good and gives scope for formation of low pressure systems over the Bay of Bengal, and hence the monsoon activity. But it was not favorable as it lay in phase 8, 1 and 2, which is over Africa and Arabia. Therefore, it was not favorable. Then less West Pacific typhoon activity. You will be surprised to know that this year over Pacific in the month of August and adjoining time, for continuously 41 days, there was no development of any cyclonic disturbances. And whatever disturbance formed, that also moved towards northeast, and it was not coming towards Southeast Asia, and hence we could not get any remnants from South China Sea, and hence it inhibited the development of low pressure systems over Bay of Bengal. On the other hand, whatever points I wrote here, it became just opposite and became just favorable in the month of September, as it was predicted in the last press conference. So September 2021 had the second highest rainfall activity, and during the period after 28 years, because it was plus 52 in recent years. Only in 2019 it was plus 52, and this year it has become plus 35. Now, what happened actually in the month of September? There was a slight weakening of the negative Indian Ocean dipole conditions, and there was formation of one monsoon depression and one cyclonic storm. The Madden-Julian oscillation became favorable. Most of the days, you can find out on the right-hand side diagram, it was lying in phase 3, 4, and 5. So this phase 3, 4 are quite favorable for formation of low pressure systems of Bay of Bengal, and also the active monsoon conditions, especially for central and adjoining areas. Now, these low pressure systems which developed over the South China Sea or Northwest Pacific, the remnants also moved west-northwest towards across Southeast Asia, and they immersed into the Bay of Bengal, and therefore almost every week we had one low pressure system. Now, if I just look at the probabilistic forecast for rainfall over October and October to December, so these are the two maps on the left-hand side and right-hand side. Left-hand side is the probability rainfall forecast for October. So with a very good monsoon season from June to September, ending of today, the outlook for October is also quite positive. It shows that the rainfall activity is likely to be normal for the country as a whole, and this blue and green area are indicating that rainfall is also expected to be quite uniformly distributed and we can have therefore a positive support from this rainfall activity for farming sector and other sectors. On the October to December rainfall activity, we just look at on the right hand side, it is also indicating that we can have a normal rainfall activity. So what I want to say here that if you consider October to December period in Northwest India, usually gets very less rainfall, or you can say the very dry conditions usually. So that is shown here. The area where we usually get less rainfall activity are shown as a dotted. That is climatologically less rainfall during the season. That dotted area has been shown. It covers Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, UP, northern parts of MP, Gujarat, etc. So from these two maps, I want to give another information about the northeast monsoon. If you just see that northeast monsoon usually occurs during the season October to December, and normally around 15 October southwest monsoon withdraws and northeast monsoon starts in. And the forecast for these two maps indicates that the southeast peninsula, which is usually affected, including Andhra Pradesh, that is coastal Andhra Pradesh, Rayalaseema, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Kerala, South Inter Karnataka. This is the area which is experiencing the northeast monsoon every year. So that area, if you just look at specially, you'll find that rainfall is expected to be near normal. Now, coming to the forecast for the next 4 weeks, based on the extended range models, we have got two sets of extended range forecast models. On the left hand side, NCMRW, on the right hand side is IMD GFS based CFS models. So, if we just look at both the models are indicating this blue, or you can say gray blue colors, and these stands for normal to above normal rainfall activity. So just like the seasonal rainfall forecast by our CFS model and MME, from here also there is an indication that week 1 and week 2 we may have the normal rainfall activity over central parts of the country, in some parts of Northeast India also. And week 1 especially you can have a good rainfall activity over Bihar and adjoining northeastern states because of the well-marked low pressure area. And there can be good rainfall activity in parts of the peninsular India also. Similarly, in the week 2, the rainfall activity will be normal to normal over parts of peninsular India and central India. So week 1 and week 2 forecast have a reasonable good accuracy compared to week 3 and week 4 forecast. Now, going to multi-hazard early warning for next 5 days. Yes, we have given the warning for Bihar and Jharkhand today, red color warning because of the well-marked low pressure area, which is located over the region. Extremely heavy rainfall activity can be expected. Bihar activity will continue for next 2 days also up to 2nd October. But on 2nd October, intensity will reduce. So whatever rainfall we have realized during past 2 days over Ganges West Bengal, that type of rainfall we can expect over Bihar and Jharkhand today and Bihar tomorrow. So therefore, we can expect some kind of damages because of the localized flooding or some kind of inundation in urban areas and disruption in traffic, etc. Apart from that, you can have the thunderstorm activity in parts of the country because this is the end of the monsoon season and we are entering into the phase where we can expect the withdrawal of the monsoon. So I have not shown the map here. I just want to mention that with respect to withdrawal, southwest monsoon withdrawal has been delayed this year, basically because of the development of the low pressure systems one after another during monsoon season of September. And these low pressure systems moved from east to the west up to Gujarat, and therefore the moist easterlies continue to prevail up to Rajasthan. But however, from 3rd October onwards, there will be change in wind pattern, and this cyclonic wind will be replaced by the anticyclonic wind with establishment of the high pressure area and the anticyclonic circulation over Rajasthan and neighborhood. And that will influence the reduction of rainfall activity, and therefore we are expecting that from 6th the entire condition in terms of the establishment of anticyclonic circulation, decrease in water vapor up to middle tropospheric level, and reduction of rainfall continuously for next 5 days will satisfy. So therefore, our statement is that condition for withdrawal of monsoon from parts of Northwest India will be favorable from 6th of October onwards. After the withdrawal commences from Northwest Rajasthan or neighborhood, and there will be continuous withdrawal from some more parts of Northwest India. So thank you very much.